There are a lot of flights in and out of Ogden tonight. There's at least 3 airplanes probably flying to Ogden. It's over here. Oh, those dogs sound like they're being tortured. Wow, the gym is really busy tonight. Really busy. People get really anal when they know you're filming. They're like, "Are you filming?" And this, of course, is the street, the sidewalk, where that infamous Bob the Bum incident happened 2 years ago, May 2022. And I will be back here May 2024 to commemorate that occasion that got his fucking ass barred from EOS. Yeah, that scene was filmed, sent it into the EOS people, which they requested it. And yeah, they put a trespass on him. This place used to be a Now Care clinic. Now it's a Journeys. It's like an abortion clinic. They sit here and try to see like how they have all this womanly imagery. Well, it's a women clinic, not a gynecology, but it does all that stuff. It's an abortion clinic. That's why it's called Journeys. The journey to fix your mistake, which could have been helped if you used a condom or birth control. People these days don't know what the fuck that is. They say the gays have a problem with it. No, it's the straights, honey, that have that problem. My hands, of course, are fucking freezing now. So I told myself I was bad this weekend, so I need to go on the walk of shame. Temporary bus stop. Gee, I wonder why. Why are they always moving their fucking bus stops? And those drivers, they always pass over the temp stops. They give zero fucks. They're just like, oh, well, I didn't I didn't recognize it as an official stop. I didn't know I was supposed to stop. So I just keep driving. Even like normal bus stops that have been there for decades. Years and years. I've seen bus drivers just woof, just zoom on past. See, people ask me, I say, I don't care for EOS. For one, well, call it prejudging, but before this whole Bob the Bum stuff came up, I said, if I was going to work out at a gym, I would go to a well-established one like Gold's Gym or the Clearfield Recreation Complex or the Roy Recreation Complex, which are cheaper. And then after the Bob the Bum fiasco, it's clear to me they don't look after their guests, their members. And Bob the Bum, my unnamed lady friends who had been, all of them taught to management. Well, they taught to employees. You would assume employees would at least pass it on. And I thought, if it's a progressive enough place, yes, they will believe all women, especially if they have a suspected pervert and a prowler, whatever you want to call them, on the premises. Well, they did nothing. So, even like the bottom line is EOS is a privately owned business. So a member of management could kick anyone out for any fucking reason. That is the truth. That is the tea. I've been asked to leave stores that I had just entered in and ready to shop for literally no reason, just based upon my hunch was they didn't like the way I looked. I looked like I have resting bitch face. So that gives people the impression, oh, he's in here looking for trouble. Oh, he's in a bad mood. Or he's a typical mass shooter type or whatever, despite the fact that I'm gay as fuck. Obviously it's a lot harder to kind of like claim discrimination unless they know that you're gay and it's platooned together. And I hate jumping to that fucking card. But the truth is I've seen working at Target and Walmart them kick people out just for being noisy, and this was like about 20 years ago. I don't think they do it today because people film everything and there's Karens everywhere, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the headache for management to do that, especially when Utah management is comprised like a good 80% are Karens themselves. So that wouldn't look good for them. See, they changed this building 3 times. Originally, some 20 odd plus years ago, it was this way. And it was a dark brown brick building. And it started from there all the way down here and back. Then this was kind of like angled in the corner here and was like kind of in a step shape. And that's the latest design. I'm sure they'll bulldoze it in another 5 to 10 years. Oh, we're building it like a pyramid. We're building it like an upside down star. We're not even trying to hide our free love and affection for Satan anymore. That's that new O-Town coin-op laundromat. Look how fucking small it is. And I never see anybody using it. My roommate went there once because he's like, oh, we live close enough by. This was just after they opened, so a few weeks ago. And he's like, I live close enough by. I'll try them out. I never see anybody there. And I've been by there multiple times, day and night. I just think people would rather take their chances at a well-established place like fucking Hearts up the street. Hearts up the street on on the way to Harmon's, across from Walgreens. Carl's Jr. is so fucking disgusting. Ugh. I used to really like them, but like their food is always greasy. It's always overcooked. And it's like, as much as a bad rep that McDonald's gets, if I'm in the mood for nuggets or fries, which is the only things I eat from there, which is once in a blue moon, it's always hot and ready and fresh. About as fresh as fast food can be. I've said this before, this place, the Sunset Rainbow Saloon, used to be all the way down there. And this place was a group home back in the day. It was like a group home or something for elderly people. At least that's what I think what it was. Because the only people I ever saw going in there were old people. And there's always those white vans that would take them out to like Sunday dinner. Because I know some places, some facilities, for people who are more like, I know it sounds mean, but people who are more like cognizantly with it, or cognitively with it, and are more sociable, they'll go out, they'll have like Sunday brunch or Sunday dinner. Of course, because they're old, they eat dinner at like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., whatever. And they'll just load them up on those white vans, and you'll know them because they're like the typical kidnapper vans that you see. I wonder if I should turn and just walk down the fucking trail instead of walking on Main Street where it's noisy and busy. This is really funny. I've been thinking about my past a lot recently, and like people I've known and grew up and went to school with, and Utah really is like a fucking country on its own. Like if you're born and raised here and grew up and raised in the church, the religion, then you'll fit right in. I'm not saying you won't have problems, but the populace will be more willing to help you and listen to you and deal with you. And it's like everyone, it's like a transient fucking state. Like how many people who are in the military get reassigned or deployed here and they're stuck here? I think this van, this UTA fucking bus must have a flat or must be busted down. Because it is always here, parked in the same place, right next to a dead ass fucking tree. And it's kind of got a tilt, so I'm guessing there's a flat or two. That's just weird to me. Why didn't they come fucking clean it? You know, pick it up. That used to be a novel idea book place. Now I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't like the lady that runs it. I don't like she gives off really bad energy to me. Like she comes across like a fucking Karen, which I'm trying to not say she comes across like a bitch, but like you go to her page and then you just walk in the store, you can fucking tell right there what her politics are. The big fucking Blue Lives Matter thing, and I'm just like, oh honey, yeah, because it's cops that are being disproportionately killed. It's the oppressors and the aggressors that are being disproportionately killed. Don't get me wrong, cops are important, they serve a purpose, but you know, a lot of times they go AWOL, they get corrupt, they do their own thing, they basically become protection enforcers or whatever, or they demand their protection money. But now cops are so afraid of having their whole precinct or department, rather, I think that's a cop right there, defunded, that they'll go and when they're waiting or just loitering or doing whatever they do when they're not actively doing whatever, it's far and away, you know, in Sunset you couldn't throw a stone without fucking hitting a cop. Now they're all like, oh, they're all in the darkest corners of the fucking city. And it's so funny to me is they're so bored and they'll claim to me they don't have the manpower to spare. When I think it was like a winter ago, I honestly think in hindsight it was just a couple of kids fucking around with each other, like whitewashing each other in the snow, which that's when you hold someone's face in the snow for a few seconds. I think that's what it was, because I thought it was like some kind of like gang like takedown, like they were trying to get rid of one of their own. And they're like, why would they do that right there? We can fucking see them. And it's wintertime, so the trees by the apartments that we used to live at right over there had no leaves on them. So I could see clear out the window down to the little park bathroom that's there. And the fucking operator, because I called non-emergency number, I thought it was later than it was. It must have been, because in wintertime it gets super dark early, and like around 7 or 8. And the fucking dispatcher was a cunt. She was giving me the biggest fucking attitude. And I didn't, because if I had said, yeah, send someone over, I'd have to deal with the cop, but I had to deal with her. And I just told her no. I said no. On hindsight, no. I think it's just kids messing around. Which is the truth. That's what I thought it was. Because I was watching out the window the whole time I was on the phone. And honestly, it just looked like they were throwing snow at each other. I couldn't tell it because it seemed like they were trying to like they were beating the other guy up. Like it seemed to look like they were punching him. But maybe they were just shoving snow in his face or something. I don't fucking know. But she was a cunt. And she was like, well, do you want to send an officer over? No, they never send one. They send like the whole fucking department over, which is really fucking hilarious to me when there's one of the cops over there. Officer Humpty Dumpty. It's really hilarious to me when they've told me time and again, we can't spare the manpower. We don't have enough people. But then instead just one or two people, one or two cops, it's like 4, 5, 6 fucking squad cars. And it's like someone somewhere in the Sunset Police is lying about how many fucking cops they have. Because they always say, oh, we're so short-handed, we're hiring. But then you have enough manpower to spare to send 6 whole guys when 1, probably 2 would have sufficed. So I didn't want to fucking deal with her. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it was just kids fucking around with each other. So I said, I think it's a false alarm. I think they're just teenagers having a snow fight. And hung up. Because I would have, I'm glad it wasn't anything serious because I would have had to deal with her. Stay on the phone, deal with the cunt dispatcher, deal with the fucking arrogant, irate cop. And, you know, they can't come over, even if it's an emergency. They take their sweet fucking time. It's ridiculous to me. I'm like, God, you guys aren't doing anything. I realize that being on patrol is part of the job. It is the description. But you're literally at Maverick or you're at hidden away so that the populace, the general populace, see more cars parked in the church overflow parking. I mean, the only people that use the overflow parking are non-church people. But great use of church money, you know, of tithing money on top of taxes. I mean, the people that are paying tithings are also paying taxes. So you're paying twice. Oh, there's a train coming. I can hear it. I'm sure my feet and legs will regret this later, but I so desperately need to get into shape. And I don't have the money to go and hire a personal trainer. And you're like, hi, I'm almost 40. Can you whip me into shape in like a month? I always fucking eat junk. I always eat garbage. Like tonight I had a fucking cheeseburger from Burger Bar because it sounded really good. And aside from Crown Burger, it's the only burger place I enjoy. After having Burger Bar, it's like Burger King is disgusting. McDonald's is gross. Carl's Jr. is like fucking. Don't even. I mean, all of their food is disgusting. I used to like Arby's for their curly fries. So I thought, oh, that's unique. The little twisty curly French fries. But then only like you check the top of the little box, the fry box that you get, or a fry holder, carton, whatever, and only like, in my experience, less than a handful of those French fries are curly or twisty. The rest of them look like deformed onion rings. So if we have Arby's and I get fries, because usually I just get 2 of the roast beefs, I'll just get their crinkle fries because they're soft and easy to eat. These people must be a huge family. Because I've seen adult people, so they're adult kids and their grandkids live there at home. Sometimes I think if my immediate family were cool, like if they weren't completely insane, it would be fun to have a room there, but I know they would mess with things, you know. They'd get mad and be like, well, you know, you don't come visit nearly enough, so we converted your room back into an office. Okay, whatever. It's your house. Not that I'm arguing. I would never move back in with my parents. They're too out of touch. They're too insane. We would kill each other at this point. It would not be a good thing. And the next time I go, I will film because the fucking Mr. Asshole was there. Every single time I've come by, he's been there. Like I'm not trusted to visit my own fucking mother. So, I'm going to be filming. So if he tries anything, I'm calling the cops and his ass is going to jail because he already has a record. So he actually has quite a distinct record. You might not be able to find it on Utah's Right to Know, but the cops, they keep their records, they keep their files. And they, even with people, that's why criminals who have a clean record after being released, they get checked up on. Because the cops will go and refer to their records and say, oh, we haven't been breaking houses lately, have we? Or whatever. Who the fuck would play pickleball at night? Really? I really see zero fucking point. I don't think tennis is for rich people. I see people play pickleball and they look like they don't have a grasp of their bodily functions. There's another airplane. God, how annoying. It must be Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Little boys having fun at the park. Oh, that's another thing. Supposedly the water's approved, everyone. Supposedly it's approved. Supposedly. They ran several litmus tests. It's approved. This is so fucked up. I told myself the other night I was not going to go to Clinton, but this is the fastest way for me to get to kind of where I want to go in Clearfield. But I am not going by the farmhouse. I'm absolutely not. I'm done with that place. I filmed there as many times as I needed to film. There's really nothing more that needs to be said or shown. I don't know, it's just me. It looked like they were playing pickleball fucking shirtless. That's fucking insane. Because it's like, it's at least in the 40s. It's not warm at all. Yeah, I was young too once. I was that age once. I never did shit like that. Yeah, catch pneumonia in your life and it ain't fucking fun. Only takes one time. This house is so fucking gorgeous. I love it. I love this house. Of course, even if it went for sale, I would never be able to afford it. Like that house, you can't even really see even with the light. It's like a oh, you can go if you're turning. It's fine. That house, it's kind of like the 857 farmhouse. They're both farmhouse style. So I think I figured out how to deal with Utah youths because they're raised with this fucking impetuous attitude of I can do whatever the fuck I want with no consequences. And I just respond to them like they're babies. So now that I am officially old now, and cops don't bother me because, oh, he's just some old fat fuck. He's probably dragging himself out to the Maverick for a hot dog and a donut and a extra large fountain drink. That actually does sound good. So you know I'm a fat person because I just ate a fucking burger and I'm still talking about food. So this is why my mom would get so irritated. She would get so frustrated. She'd like, you always talk about food. And now her little baby boy is a big fat man. I'll make her proud though. One of these days I'll star in an episode of my 600-pound life. Or my strange addiction. I've ran out of things in the house to eat, so I've taken to eating sheetrock and nails, and I'll be interviewed by a reporter from TLC, and I'll be munching on like a doorknob. Oh, that lamppost looks yummy. Put some salt on it. All you can do is just laugh and just laugh. I mean, yeah, I'm fat, so what? That's another little farmhouse style little house with detached garage. I hope that they're renting it or selling it. I'm sure they are. Why would you go through the trouble of cleaning it up if you're not gonna do something with it? There's raccoons in this part of town. It seems really unlikely, but I found several dead raccoons. Oh, it's just so disgusting. Any dead animal is gross, but raccoons creep me out because I think they might be rabid. So we got about 36 minutes we've recorded so far. No, 37, because I ended the last one at 31. So we got 37 minutes. Oh my God. So this is the Rio Grande Trail. And Clearfield City recently put up two things: a bike fix kit and like a little workout. It's like a gravity gym or something. You're supposed to get a workout from based on your weight. So the more you're able to do, the better workout you get. So I thought maybe I could come by and film that. Those people just live over there. We can get straight home just cutting through the church. There's like absolutely nothing to see. This whole route. I'm not going to that house. I'm absolutely not. You'll see, I'm not going there. But I told myself we're not going to Clinton again anytime soon. We have no reason. But then I was like, I want to go film. I want to go through the Rio Grande Trail in Clinton. That's where it starts. It doesn't start in Sunset. And get to Clearfield. Oh, I know what I can do. I can talk about disgusting and just terrible retail stories. When I worked at Target, I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my stories before. I was new, and I was like a cart pusher person. That was my job. And I would also, because they got rid of all the janitors at Target, they make the cart people do everything. And you don't get paid more money for it either, which is why it's a complete fucking scam. They called me in because I have to check the bathrooms. They called me in because there was a biohazardous situation in the men's bathroom. And I was like 21 at the time, 21, 22. I didn't feel qualified because I'm thinking biohazardous, which really just means anything from the body: spit, blood, piss, shit, semen, snot, whatever. Some kid was in the handicap stall, which was the very last stall in the men's room. He had shat all over the toilet, all over the floor, all over the wall. And I get gaggy thinking about it. It was so disgusting. Ugh. I was not given a mask. I was not given protective gloves. It was just like, oh, we'll go get a bucket and a mop. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking make contact with someone's shit with my bare fucking hands. It was such a terrible experience. I still get the gags when I think about it. Because the kid took off his underwear, tried wiping with that, took off his socks. They were left behind. Oh my God, it was a fucking crime scene. It was like a fucking crime scene. I'm like, you need to close off this bathroom and bring CSI in. It's like some kid fucking exploded on the wall. I've never seen, and I have worked custodial at many schools, at many office buildings since then. I have yet to see anything that bad to the extent of filth that kid left behind. Now, I've seen people leave huge dukes in the toilet, not flush. Okay, that's gross. I've seen people piss on the toilet seat, piss in the urinal, not flush, get piss on the floor, whatever. You soak your mop in the bucket, rinse it out or wring it out, and then you just scrub it up. Easy as. But when there is literal shit, even if someone had pissed all over the seat, all over the toilet itself, the floor, the wall, that's easy to clean up. You just use your mop and you wash it away. But when there is shit that looks like it has hardened, means it had been in there and left in there. And I'm getting gaggy again thinking about it. Oh my fucking God, it was horrible. This is back in 2006 when I was brand new at Target. Summer 2006. So this kid is a fucking grown adult now. And I wonder if he thinks back to having shat so bad all over the bathroom that he contaminated it. I don't know how else to describe it. He fucking contaminated it. I mean, I get it. He was a kid. He probably felt like he was, you know, having an accident, shitting himself, and ran to the bathroom and just diarrheaed everywhere. That was so awful. I have encountered pretty bad bathroom scenes since then. I've never encountered one as bad as that, because it's just nothing has topped that in terms of disgusting, in terms of ick factor, in terms of grossitude, in terms of how almost 20 years later, that's 18 years. I think coming August or September will have been 18 years. So almost 20 years since that's happened, and I still get grossed out when I think about it. Just all the little fucking details. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. It's frightening. It's like, this kid never have a bowel movement before and started freaking out. I've never, like I said, and I'm not making it up, I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie about something so anecdotal and so minute. I'm sure other janitors have seen much worse. I've never seen anything as bad to that scope of filth and contamination. I've had to mop up puke. Since then I have to mop up pee, piss, pee, piss, whatever. Flush, unflushed dukes in the toilet. The women's bathrooms, the girls' bathrooms, are surprisingly way worse than the men's bathrooms. Because you're not just dealing with bodily fluids, you're dealing with, and I'm not kidding you, torn out pieces of hair from some fucking girl's scalp. So I don't know if she's brushing her hair so hard that she's ripping out hair, or if she and another girl really got into it. Because you know how fucking girls fight, they grab each other's hair. You bitch. Makeup everywhere. That shit is a fucking bitch to clean up. The makeup. The little shavings from the eyebrow pencil or whatever, the eyeliner pencil. Because people who wear that will have like a little pencil sharpener, they keep it in their makeup bag. I find those in the sink. I find they write on the mirror with their fucking lipstick. Water everywhere. And it's not like just normal, clean, wet water droplets. It's like oily, disgusting, mildewy fucking shit. Girls, I had to say, y'all bathrooms is fucking disgusting. The guys aren't saints, but your bathroom is fucking profane. I'd rather just grab a rag and wipe down the men's bathroom mirrors that might have some, splashback on it. The girls' bathrooms are oily, greasy, because they have all this chemical makeup shit everywhere and product in their hair. Because I guess they have to pop in the bathroom and wash their hair multiple times. I don't know. I don't get it. Must be a girl thing. I was the closest thing to a girl in my friends group, and I was still clueless because I didn't follow those behavioral patterns, you know. Walking past that street, 1800, my head was compelled looking that way, that lonely house. I said, nope, I'm not going there. I'm not doing it. I'm basically just power walking right now. Basically, I'm just torturing myself right now. I had a job here, a temp job here, like 19 years ago. It was in 2005. And this, if it's the same building, I'm thinking it is, it's like a steel. They made the things for the like the bus stop signs and whatever. And because I was chronically unemployed, so I would always go through like a deco to find work. And a deco, I wouldn't recommend if you're young and you're not serious about finding a real job, because those people don't fuck around. If you don't accept every offer they throw your way, they get very irate with you. And at some point, they'll close your account and cite that you were not easy to work with or something, that you were unreasonable. I hate this fucking trail. How it's all Sleepy Hollow and shit. Oh my god. I fucking hate it. Yeah, it's the Blair Witch. That's what you're missing. Rows and rows of dead fucking trees. But there's pretty houses right there. So there's that. Oh my god. If I had like a real job, I wouldn't have to be doing this shit. Walking around filming. My video will get 5 views at most. It'll get memory hold. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm does not favor me. I need to redesign my blog so that it has more link backs to traffic for my channel. Both my channels, in fact. That's the storage walk-up place. Those walls. other day I thought coming out here, you know what's a good idea? Let's go out filming. For no fucking good reason. I have no one in my family who thinks this is a good idea. They like my content that I put out, but, and they do like getting out and getting exercise and walking themselves, but they don't like the nighttime aspects of it. And I think nighttime is the best time. This is so stupid. Why the fuck do they have a fence right here? So you have to walk all the way through here to get there. Right by someone's fucking house. See, those were supposed to be open, I thought. See, you thought the last place was Blair Witch. There's like no lighting here. No lighting at all. I need to get a flashlight. A heavy duty flashlight. This minuscule fucking thing is not fucking cutting it. Okay, 26 minutes. I'm gonna end this recording. Okay. This is like a nightmare for me. I always have this nightmare of waking up in some horrible, like that abandoned house, just waking up in the middle of the night there. How did I get there? Who put me there? I would probably, because I don't have the type of voice that can scream, because my vocal cords are really messed up, but I would fucking scream. I would scream. I would panic the fuck out. It's so creepy. That side's illuminated. This side is pitch darkness. Oh my fucking god. It's the trees, the brush that makes it dark. Because the night sky isn't that dark. Fucking cap on my inhaler. God damn it. Okay. People come down here to and fro work all the time. I see them right there. The only thing that concerns me is when they're on their motorbikes It's not a motorcycle, it's like a scooter. And they go really fast, or a moped. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to get clocked by it. I'm going to go flying, land in this ditch. They'll never find my body. But the surrounding neighbors will go, honey, do you notice it smells really bad outside? And then the husband will go, oh, probably just, you know, some fat nuisance animal, some pest burrowed under there and died. Can you imagine this whole area like 500 years ago when it all looked like this primeval forest? There's people's houses up there, their yards. It's a good thing that they have a fence. Can you imagine having kids playing and one of them fucking goes toppling over the side there? I think this is called a trench or a ravine. And they have stairs right there. Well, it's been grown over, but they did have stairs. Kid goes flying over the fucking edge. He's in a coma. Doctor, how's it look? I'm just gonna be frank with you, Mrs. Ketchum. Were you and Mr. Ketchum using your son as a football again? No. We'd never do that. Oh. Well, the prognosis looks he's in a coma. We've tried scaring him awake with some loud noises. He involuntarily urinated himself, which was quite hilarious, but he has not woken up. We'll get some larger pots and pans and try again tomorrow. People are, what the fuck? I fell into a coma once. This story offends me. You mean my whole channel doesn't offend you? That's wild if true. I love imagining what these places looked like hundreds of years ago with all this. And this is a good idea. You know, this type of underbrush, the ravines, you know. There's the tunnel that's haunted by a butch lesbian hitchhiker. And they say every night you can hear her walking in her Doc Martens, her hiking boots, humming along to the tune of an Indigo Girls song. Then someone chimes in, that offends me. I am a ghost lesbian hitchhiker. Let's see. The cemetery. Clearfield Cemetery is that way. I think it's Clearfield. I don't think it's the Clinton Cemetery. I could be wrong. So the kids from the school painted a pretty mural here under surveillance. And the people came and fucking painted over all of it. It's under surveillance. What fucking use is that? If I get assaulted, are they going to send a cop out here immediately? Where are the cameras at if it's under surveillance? See, this area is freaky, but it's nowhere near as bad as fucking Sleepy Hollow down there. Because you can't see the sky, because all the branches and trees have created this natural, ceiling. I tell you though, there really isn't that much light pollution out here. That's how you know you're in the boonies, the boondocks. I tell you, one of my cousins loved watching Boondocks every Saturday because it would come on like Friday night, and then early Saturday morning it would be on before it went to kids programming, because the Boondocks show isn't a kids show. And when he was staying with us, he'd watch it, and I would watch it, eat my breakfast. Like, what the? Goonies reminds me of the Goonies. Just saying Boonies, Goonies. People in their golf carts like to ride around here too. Although people, judging by the look of their houses, you wouldn't think they could afford it, because only rich people hot rod around in golf carts. Oh my God. Speaking of Goonies, way, way, way back in the day, my mutual cousins, Jace and Derek, when we were really young, I'm talking, I was 9, he was 10, he was 11, so we were quite young. One of us had gotten that game out of the clearance bin at Harmon's or Smith's or somewhere. They were selling Nintendo games. And it's nothing. I think it was made in Japan. It had nothing to do with the movie. Because the cover of it, I remember, is designed cinematically like the movie. But it looks like there's a mermaid character. There was no mermaid character in the movie. Oh, I hear ducks. I hear ducks. It looked like the one cheerleader girl from the movie they made into the mermaid for that video game. And I just remember, like, it's called Goonies 2. Did they make a sequel? And I thought, this has been over 20 years ago. They probably had sequel rumors as far back as the 80s. I'm being honked at by a duck. I don't have any bread, ducky. They want bread. I don't have any bread. Unfortunately, I already feed you. Because there wasn't really any internet in the 80s. Presumably it was invented in the late 70s or early 80s, but who the fuck had access to that? I remember using internet as early as like 1995, 94, 95. Let's see, what is this? Oh, this is that tool thing. This is that bike repair station. And this is by Holt Elementary. There's supposed to be a ghost there of a kid that drowned. I wonder if I should get out here and show you where I all show you all where I used to work. Because I know I filmed a video months or years ago where I used to work at a Dollar General. Oh, here's that gravity thing. This is the new. It's right there too. This is the new. It supports your weight, so the more you're able to do, you're going to get a better workout based on your own size or mass or something. I think they said on the Clearfield page. And there's a pickleball court down there too. No trespassing during school hours. It's not school hours, honey. That doesn't mean that it's not trespassing, but I like how they just said no trespassing during school hours. It means after hours it's fine. Oh, if you want to come plant a bomb somewhere or graffiti or do drugs or have a satanic orgy, that's fine, as long as it's after hours. Obviously, that was said in satire. I shouldn't have to spell that out, but you know, people are legit stupid. Well, I was watching Starfang's channel and he said you could do it. It was fine. So then YouTube gets sued. I get sued. The person who committed the heinous act gets sued by the school and the district. I, in turn, get sued by the student, the person who did it, and their parents for planting this evil idea. YouTube gets sued. All my content, my channels get deleted. Is that a cop car? It's always cop cars that are creeping along slowly. They're looking for that little boy ghost. Oh, he's probably gonna. Are you a ghost hunter? We don't like people messing around the school looking for some stupid gay ghost that doesn't exist. I'm just trying to find the Dollar General that used to be here. It's nice to say this school looks so modern. It's not, but it looks like it is. Okay. It's not a Dollar General anymore. I think it's the new Circle Inn Pizza location, but I'll walk over there since I'm in the area. Oh my god. So this is the nice homey part of Clearfield where Mom and Pa live and Grandma lives just down there. See, I'm on 1000 West right now. This street is 52 525. So they always put their fucking bus stops where no one's gonna see it. Which is the most fucking stupid thing in 2024 and all the developments in technology. They're like, let's put it behind this tree. And of course, the buses always drive right by it because they can't see it. That's like grandma's house, grandma's trailer. I'll show you the building, even though I filmed it like I think 2 or 3 years ago. It was one of my, it was in 2021 or 2020 when I filmed it. Because this Dollar General had been gone for some time. And it was 2017 that I was working there, late 2017. It wasn't quite 2018 yet. I think it was only like December or November. That was a good year for me, 2017. Then, of course, everything went to shit not long after. So most of the stuff here is the same. These buildings here, which I never have any reason to come to visit. Radiate. Oh, that's that fucking Karen health spa place. Maybe I used the term Karen too loosely. But you know, the fucking women with the fake tans and their hair in the ponytail, and pretty much like my cousin Jeremy's ex-wife, Claire. She's a Karen, but I feel if she didn't have Karen qualities, she would still be, you know, a Claire. So this is the Circle Inn. So if you move to Clearfield, you can be right here. This used to be the Dollar General. And I would work the front, and I would also stock things and pull things out. You know, I mean, it was just a shitty little fucking measly job, but the idea of getting hired on, because I was only working like 5 hours or 6 hours a day for like, you know, 3 or 4 days a week, which I loved it. It was fine for me because I had been so out of the groove of working that I didn't mind taking, you know, baby steps to get back, you know, into it. Because a lot of people will say, well, you just need to throw yourself into it head first. And no, that's the way to fucking burn yourself out. And that leads to people quitting. So I can't advise doing that. Holt Elementary. I think my cousin Zarin went to school here. Because this is Clearfield, not Clinton. He either went to Holt Elementary or the one... There's an elementary school down the street from... Well, it used to be Clearfield Library. Now it's a fly-by-night non-denominational church, i.e. scam. Those types of churches, they're like I said, they're like hermit crabs. They'll fucking turn any abandoned building into a fucking church. I'm not saying a church needs to be this lavish fucking palace, but, you know, if they're that minded, why don't they preach in an alley, or, you know, preach in an alley, preach at their own home, but they buy up the old buildings and, you know, turn them into something that they're not meant to be. Oh my God. There's a Maverick. I'm trying to remember if this way leads to Beto's, not Tacos, or not. Because that's the street we need to be on. This is a new development right here. That's a brand new fucking development. Those look like ivory homes that are being built. They don't look like townhomes to me, or condos. So I guess they decided, oh, Holt Elementary is so bougie, it's so bourgeois, we need to have all the classist, luxurious buildings over here. It's so sad to me. Those outfields never get used. Those buildings never get used anymore. Roy Highs didn't get used. Sunsets didn't get used. Pretty sure that one doesn't get used. And that has like a fully functioning facilities. God, it's fucking cold. This is such a productive video. Me, my feet bleeding as I walk everywhere, but nowhere important. Okay, good. Wasn't sure if there's somebody behind me or not. This is such an obscure part of town for me. Like, I literally never have any reason to come here. Ever. I have more reason to go to that. So you can look and see. Those are those new apartments, those fancy new apartments. There's a car coming, so I'm not going to stand there and film. You can see them. But this is an old school neighborhood. It's like hardly been changed. This is the overpass street. Yeah, this is the one. Hay for sale. The wind really has fucking picked up. And that's where we would have come out of had we continued. And this is still Clearfield, it's not Sunset. We could go that way, but we're not. We're gonna go over the bridge. At least I think this is the bridge street. People have asked me, do you ever collaborate? Do you ever collab with people? My answer is just simply no. And it's not that I wouldn't. I don't know anybody that would. Apart from Andy, who's been in a scant few of my videos. I don't know anybody else in the state who urbexes, who gets out and films, or who even does First Amendment audits. I don't know anybody. People here, they're really afraid of the police. They're really afraid. And quite honestly, it's because the police are corrupt. You know, why wouldn't they be afraid? So there was a car parked up there. I was wondering what the fuck that was. I thought it was a street light. There's another old farmhouse style home. You can tell lots of those old houses around Clinton and Clearfield. Oh, so vicious. Look at my hand trembling. I'm more afraid of the Karen owner coming out. Oh, if you wanted a picture, baby, that's all you had to say. And she smacks her lips together. There was an apartment. Literally in the middle of nowhere. Literally the middle of nowhere. That's another farmhouse style. Yeah, that one is another farmhouse style. So the cars get to drive up that way, and we have a nice, lovely pedestrian bridge. I think they're doing something similar on 5600 in Roy, I think. Don't all of you who are watching, all two people, one human and one bot, feel so special? Oh, the bot just clicked off. It's just the human now. Watching this person walk around aimlessly in bad shoes. Well, you can tell who the bad dog owners are. It's cold outside, and they fucking leave them outdoors. And it's always the trashiest people who do it. Ooh, he's got foam out his mouth. I can tell, I can hear it. He's wheezing as he barks. A growl bark. Yeah, that's not bloodthirsty or feral at all. See, one dog goes off, they all go off. Too bad it's a publicly accessible area, huh? Aw, too bad. Maybe next time, Karen. See, I like these buildings here. I don't know if they're apartments, though, or if they're more like condo, duplex, whatever. Look at that fucking view, though. All the way out there, that's Salt Lake City. All those lights. Layton, Salt Lake. I hit record and it fucking ends it immediately. They're gonna get mad because I'm standing here filming. I don't give a fuck. Look at all those lights. See, when we move out here to Clearfield, we're not gonna live out here. This is the ghetto. As far as I'm concerned, it's the ghetto. They have a dog problem. That many people with that many dogs that they leave outside all the time tells me that there's probably a crime problem. So it's going to cost a bit more, but we're going to live closer to Main Street, I think, instead of... Look at this dude. No, we're not going to voyeur on anybody. I don't think there was anybody in there. I think it was just a chair, an office chair. We're not going to voyeur on anybody. Because even if from a publicly accessible sidewalk, that might not be. Well, he did have his blinds open. So, assuming it's a he, whoever owns that apartment. I thought it looked like somebody maybe sitting there, but I think it was just an office chair. They're like, oh, you're voyeuring now? There's actually old X2 videos from back in the day. I mean, way back in the day, like 90s, 20, 30 years ago. And like in the porns, you know, independent porn scene, people will get off to the weirdest fucking things. They'll go and film not even just people undressing, just people sitting having dinner or walking their dog or whatever. I think that's fucking bizarre. I think it's so fucking weird. Oh my god, we're in Clearfield, yay! And the weather is fucking taking a turn for the worst. Oh my god. See, I wouldn't want to live out here, but it's doable because it's just there, those apartments back there to here. You know, let's walk around there. Turn the light off. They won't know that I'm not a resident. Because I want to get a feel for the area. I don't want to shoot any place down and say, I don't want to live there. I don't want to live. Blah, blah, blah. It's so funny if we live here. This will be the second place we've moved to where there's a Mormon church, like right there. Technically in Roy there is, but it's a few streets away. But like Sunset, the Mormon church is right there, practically in our backyard. If we move out here, it'll be right here in our front yard. Of course, all the good-looking guys live in Clearfield. That's just a fact, baby. That's just a fact, honey. That's just how it is. That's why in high school, all of the girls would go out at night to Clearfield for that. Go seeking, looking for that, for the D in Clearfield. See, none of these units are for rent. That's fine, because our lease isn't up until July. Anyway, we're not going to sign a lease like 6 months in advance. Who the fuck has that kind of money? This whole street is just apartments. Fourplexes. It looks like. Oh my god, this fucking wind. oldest fourplex apartments. I bet you could easily find a place to rent come, summertime. Like that stupid landlord lady, 20 some years old, this dumb cunt was like, she didn't like my answering machine message, and it was to detract scam callers. So it would say something like, you've reached FBI call box number, whatever, or government agent box number. She gave me a lecture. I could tell she was an old fucking grandma. She gave me a lecture when I answered the call about how I didn't appreciate that answer message. It was terrifying. And I explained to her that scares away scam callers. And unless you are a scam caller calling me, then it did its job. And her apartment, she was renting with some shitty fucking place in Roy, like all the way in the back on 5600 on a busy fucking street, all the way in the back. And she says this was like in, I don't think it was 20 years ago. I think it was like 2000. I think it was closer to like 15 or 14 years ago. It was like 2008, 2009. And she's like, well, I have a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. She wanted $900 a month. In 2008 economy, she wanted I think it was like $900 a month she wanted. And I'm like, you're fucking insane. And then she gives me this unwanted advice about how, well, and if I might, as a professional landlord, you're not going to have very much luck finding a place in summer. Okay, honey, I've moved in all 4 of the seasons. The most common, apart from winter, is summer. I've moved in the spring, I've moved in fall, I've moved in winter, I've moved in summer. So I don't know what the fuck she was talking about. Maybe she only rents to people out in winter time. Yeah, before I hung up on her, she was like, you're going to have a very hard time finding a place in summer. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've moved out dozens of times, several in summertime. Anyway, she's probably dead now because that was like 15 years ago. These places are expensive, but see, I would not live here. I would not live in any of the buildings that have businesses at the bottom, because that's just asking for trouble. King's Market. That's what this place is. It's a King's. Oh, nice. So this will be nice for if you don't want to shop at if we don't want to shop at Rancho Market, we can shop at King's, I guess. Every time I come out here, I always see like 2 teenagers, like they're ducking out to go smoke a joint together or do something sexually explicit. It's like they think I can't see them, but I saw them ducking down that side alley. Or maybe they were out smoking and they left to go back in, because I think they live in the building that has that restaurant in the bottom. Here, honey, let's go over to the corner for a quick blowjob. But when I say quick, I mean quick. Make it quick. I've got work in the morning. There's the new library. For a few years it's been here. This used to be the old Albion building. I think it burnt down. I mean, the building wasn't razed to the ground, but it was damaged and they just tore it down and put the library there. They said they did it in a land swap. The librarian who explained it to me there, when I first went in there, said, we got this place in a land swap deal. And those are usually coordinated through the city. So I'm wondering how that went about, since the city doesn't own the former library building. It's now a fucking church. So I'm just curious about that. That's where that crazy Karen works. Hi, Karen. In the fucking food handlers department building. What a fucking cunt. What a stupid, high-strung fucking cunty bitch. And she starts screaming and shouting. And I told her I wasn't going to go anywhere until I talked to someone with a brain. And she's like, is there someone, I told her, I said, is there someone sane that I can speak to? She goes, no. And I'm just kind of standing there, just deadpan, dead face, staring at her like, okay, well, you know, I'm not leaving without the cards I paid for, so. And that was almost a decade ago. That was in 2015. 2015, 2016, about that. Hi. Hope the picture comes in clear enough. The building I might move into is back there, because it doesn't look like they have any shops in it or anything. Because I don't want to move into a building that has an Arby's in it and everybody's like, oh, let's go to that one, and it's fucking noisy all the time. This building looks nice, but it's probably expensive, because they have two or three like event rooms. So you could, like, if you have kids and you don't want their snot-nosed friends coming over, you could just have a party in one of the event rooms. I need to find a place to sit and drink. I'm getting parched. Daddy's getting parched. Son, can you unzip your fly for a minute? Daddy's getting parched. But I wish I knew someone I could come out here to visit right now. I could sit down and sit a spell and talk and go over ideas. These are nice, but I don't know if they're duplexes or condos or apartments. I can't imagine that they're any more expensive than that big fucking building. Because I want to live someplace nice. I'm pushing 40. I'm done living in fucking, you know, Shitsville with all the crazy people. I mean, I'm tired of living around fucking generic NPCs. You know, when someone actually uses the term NPC and it starts to sound like they understand where I'm coming from, and then they themselves prove to be NPCs, that's the most disappointing thing. It's disappointing to me on so many levels because it's like 11:35. It's like, oh, I met someone who gets me, who sees reality for what it is, and isn't hiding behind their rose-tinted glasses. There's somebody up there. Don't do it. Don't jump. Don't jump. He's probably out there smoking. I would fucking hate to live all the way up there. I have acrophobia. Like, you want to know how bad my acrophobia is? I'm playing games like Elder Scrolls where you can jump from tall heights. Even Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, full 3D, first 3D game. Jump from tall heights. I have to close my eyes because I'll start to get motion sickness. I'll start to get... Oh my god. Where the fuck did I put my inhaler in the wrong pocket. I'll start to get motion sickness and this panic-induced feeling. So I can't even handle heights in video games. Cloud X, that's a fucking vape shop. Pretty much everyone I know agrees. When the pawn shops, vape shops, and car washes move in, your fucking town has gone to shit officially. See, what's weird to me is this building, they don't say that they're leasing any units, so they must all be rented. But there's no businesses in the bottom. And this is a really, lucrative or attractive part of Main Street where you would think people like, oh, I want to move there. I want to live where all the action is. But there's going to be a lot of hard work for me, and I'm not going to enjoy it at all because I pissed away my youth being a fucking idiot and not understanding my mental illness and not finding ways to deal with it. Instead, I would rather sleep or bury it and forget about it instead of try to get help for it. It also didn't help that I had parents that were dismissive of it, but that's another topic for another day. There's going to be a lot of hard work, but I'm done living in the bad parts of town. I think there's going to be trouble. If you go looking for it, you will find it. But I think, for the most part, if you're just minding your P's and Q's and you're living someplace nice, there's going to be trashy people everywhere anyway. There's trashy people with money. So I'm not saying that, oh, all my problems will go away. No, I'm saying I want to live someplace convenient. I want to live someplace nice. And if it means it costs a bit more money, then so be it. I'll let this run for a few more minutes and I'll go live while I'm here in the heart of town. The heart on of town. Oh my god. Ugh. And the anthem, that building's finally finished. I mean, it's like they're trying to turn fucking Clearfield into New York or something. I guarantee if these 3 or 4 buildings down here would sell, there would also be more condos, apartments down there. And people who I know, friends and relatives who drive into state, they have to come this way to come to my house, are like, oh, it's so sad seeing just condos everywhere. There's new apartments everywhere. The truth is, if you go on the back roads like I did, it's not even the back road, it's just 2 streets away. There's normal apartments, there's normal houses. Granted, that one street when I entered Clearfield was all apartments, but they're old school apartments. I guarantee if I lived there and I walked from there to here, I wouldn't be as tired now as I am now, because I walked all the way from fucking Roy. I walked from Roy into Sunset, into Clinton, now into Clearfield. And I don't know if I want to take Main Street home or if I want to take Rio Grande home. Because I have to get home by foot. I mean, I could call for a ride. The last 2 times I did that, when I felt I was like exhausted and in pain, nobody answered. So I'm probably just going to have to walk. If I got a ride from a stranger, which since I'm an adult, I figured, you shouldn't get a ride from strangers even if you're an adult. But adults are generally smarter than kids, which would be like, I wouldn't have them take me home. I would have them drop me off at like, oh, you can just drop me off here at 7-Eleven. I need to pop in to get, whatever anyway. So then they wouldn't know where you lived. This place was banging 20 years ago. It was popping, as the kids used to say. They don't say that anymore. Oh, now they say it's straight bussin', no cap. That's what they say. It's bussin'. I fucking hate that so much. What the fuck is bussing? Like you're bussing tables? Hey everyone, I'm live in Queerfield, where the gays live. Isn't that just wonderful? Oh my god. My fucking water spilled all over the front of me. Oh my god. I look like there's piss all over me. Fuck. I look like some homeless man who got urinated on. There's the airplane or a helicopter life flighting someone. I'm kind of in a zombified state right now because I walked all the way from Roy out here through the Rio Grande Trail. And I'm probably not in any condition to continue walking, but that's that new Anthem. Dude, fuck off. That new Anthem building. I figure I would go live because I'm here in the heart of Clearfield where all the gay people go. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh, I can already feel the blisters forming. Oh my god. See, I always punish myself. I'm like, oh, go to Clearfield. I go, no, I live in Roy. It's a bad idea. I do it anyway, and I'm like, oh my god. Should we walk over to where the ducks are? Let's go see the ducks. See, they need to change those signs because Grounds for Coffee's gone. Well, their sign is still up in their furniture. Have they even actually closed? They've been saying for weeks now that they're going out of business and closing. And their furniture is still out there. Their signage is still out. That used to be Griffles. It's not anymore. They moved into Roy, I think. All that are dance places and a church. I remember when Grounds for Coffee used to be the underground coffee place. You were considered punk if you went to Grounds for Coffee. Now it's so mainstream. People think, oh, I prefer Grounds for Coffee over Starbucks because now everybody knows about it. Because I think it used to be, the Grounds for Coffee used to be, like it just used to be at Weber State. It was one of the little shitty shops on campus. The CNA training, that's where I was going to go through to do what Zarin does. But I did not like their schedules, and they could basically kick you out of the program at any time and keep your money. And I did not like that. PSE, Professional Services Corporation. If that isn't just the most generic fucking basic, what do they do? Drug testing, treatment center. They couldn't come up with something fancier. August Sun. August Sun. What is this place? It looks like a cult building. I was going to say a restaurant. But they've got a play area for kids and couches. It's probably another one of those fucking churches. August Sun. That sounds like Mythic Dawn from Oblivion. The cult that assassinated the Emperor. Dawn is breaking, brother. Wind is breaking, sister. August Dawn. August Sun. Yeah, that sounds like a cult building. Lakeside Business Center. I bet this is all out of date. Fortress Property Management. Wasatch CFP. EMT Utah. Phlebotomy training. Lavender Lush cleaning. This is exactly like the same. This is like the Cal City Business Plaza. I keep telling my aunt to go fucking film there. She'll never do it because she's 70 and she can't be fucking bothered to do it. I think that would make a great video, though. A compare and contrast. Clearfield City Plaza and then Cal City Market City Plaza. Let's look at the ducks. The ducks love the water. They don't care what fucking season it is. I've seen some ducks fight each other. Not really fight, but one of them was getting aggressive with the other. Like he was going near his girl or something. I don't see any ducks. Do you hear that? Those aren't ducks. Are those raccoons fighting? Those are raccoons. Those aren't cats. Those are raccoons. There are fucking raccoons out there fighting. There's raccoons out there. I've always said this business plaza should be turned into apartments. So then you can overlook the water. I have this dream of just waking up one winter morning. This little lake, this pond is frozen over. It's lightly snowing. I pull back the curtains. I stand on my porch with my hot cocoa and my robe, watch the snow fall and the penguins slip and slide across the lake. This area was I can't believe how different this area was just in less than like 20 years ago. I mean, 15, 16 years is kind of pushing it. It's close to 20, but because 10 years ago, I can easily count 10 years ago, this was the same. The only difference, I think, it was that big building there was Griffles. It might have been Teleperformance. No, I think it was Griffles, whatever. Grifters. Should we see if we can find those raccoons? Then we can contract rabies. Then we can get sent to the funny farm. And then Uncle Sam will take care of us. Oh, honey, you're not crazy. You don't have rabies. You're just gay. You have HIV. What? There's that cold August sun. That's definitely. I can't see any under public surveillance. Are they going to send like armed guards with Tom Cruise out to investigate? What's that homosexual doing filming around the building? Quickly send some guards to apprehend him and question him. That used to be Spare Time, and I think it was also before that a Peter Piper Pizza. I know there was a Peter Piper Pizza up near the McDonald's further down where Kmart used to be. I heard the raccoons. I don't know where they are, though. See, this is that professional testing. Why the fuck do they need this big wrought iron fucking fence? This is like to keep people in, not keep people out. Why the fuck do they need that? Is what I want to know. There's someone sitting there with his car lights. I wonder if that's a cop. You're like, yeah, I saw somebody filming at the pond. He's sitting over there with his lights. I was gonna zoom in, but I can't get it to zoom. See, what even is this fucking place? It says testing center. It looks like a fucking mini detention center. They've got like the fucking a grill back here. Which, yeah, I mean, I guess they could have. I've never worked anywhere where they grilled people food. When I worked for Target, they did it one time, and I missed the day that they were doing it, so I didn't get any. Probably because they knew I'd eat everything. Oh, that fat fucker's gone. Let's grill everything before he comes back to work. Yeah. So it's just where Sentinel Field Services. This one says Sentinel, but that site says PSC. So are those different suites? Or did that used to be Sentinel, now it's all PSC? Because I think Sentinel Field Services was like security, like Rent-A-Cop or something. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. I would love to get in here and film. Of course, these places are all... This area under 24-hour surveillance. Really, in abandoned buildings under 24-hour surveillance? Really? They're going to waste electricity and power surveying a building that's no longer open, that nobody can visit. That sounds like a great use of taxpayer dollars to me. See, and instead of it being like a homeless shelter or a place for a rehab, a place for addicts to check in and get help because there's a huge addiction problem in Utah. Or hell, instead of just being used as something normal, a normal business, no, it's been abandoned for over a decade. I think it's been abandoned now for close to 20 years. It's so funny because that's a pond, not a lake. It's called Maybe Pond. But this whole area is called Lakeside. That's why I always call it a lake. Because I'm like, well, the sign says it's Lakeside. It's just wild to me. Like 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, this place was like where everybody would go to do something. Movies. There was a movie theater here. I think the Playhouse was, if it wasn't here, then it wasn't far from here. There was a nightclub. There was a restaurant. Nightclub/bar, restaurant. Literally fucking anything you could think of to do, you could do. Because I remember Jeremy's ex, Claire, her and her friends, I use air quotes because they're just fucking bitches. They constantly stab each other in the back all the time. What does this say? Liquidation sale. What are they liquidating? We're selling the sink. We're selling the toilet paper. We're selling the bathroom tile. Oh, cool. Then fucking Elevation can buy out the building. Then they can own everything. Office entrance. Of course, they have to have offices because that's where the corrupt officials go when they're thumbing through all their hundreds and hundreds of dollars Elevation kids. How much molesting do you think goes on here on a daily basis? Look at these dark, gloomy corridors. This is the Elevation kids section. This place looks like it was made for kids. And they actually won trophies. Then you look in that fucking place, it looks like the thing that Zoomers are afraid of, the liminal spaces hellscape. If I took my kid there, I would not be surprised if they ended up, being suicidal and shit. Or having nightmares and stuff. Anyway, nobody joined me on this live because you suck. But this is going to be paired into the main video anyway, so. Okay, I'm trying out the new super wide camera angle. This phone is amazing. I'm just learning stuff about it all the time. Super wide angle. That's what I wanted from the get-go. You just missed me going live. I was live on Instagram talking shit about that fly-by-night elevation church. They're probably going to sue me for slander and libel, libellous comments. All I said was all I asked is, I said, I wonder how many kids are molested there on a daily basis. And I also said that if I had a kid and left him there during the day, they'd probably come back feeling suicidal or having nightmares. And that it looked like a scary liminal spaces thing that Zoomers are afraid of. Actually, they might not even sue me. They might reach out and try to have a sit down with me, which would probably be even worse because they'd probably try to convert me. Jay, tell us, have you ever experimented with human flesh? What are your thoughts on necromancy? What are your thoughts on the Necronomicon? What's your opinion on Cthulhu? I'm currently testing a super wide camera angle. I could have been riding that. There's no stop in sight, but I could have been riding that bus. I need to put the UTA app on my phone because my roomie says, because he does it digitally, he could just put a pass or tokens on my phone or something. They can scan it or whatever. Because we're kind of moving to a cashless society anyway. I mean, you still get paid cash. You can still take out cash. It's just in less greater quantities, which I'm perfectly fine with. If you're out and about and you want to stop at a vending machine, that's one thing. Those still take cash, I think. Card and cash. But I'm perfectly fine paying with card. If it means I don't have to juggle a bunch of cash and change in my pocket, I'm perfectly happy with that. I think we're going to take the main road, the main street home. It's the most direct way home. Let's see, what time is it? 12:05. Last time I checked, it was 11:30, 11:35, I think it was. So we took about... So it's been not even an hour, so it's just over half an hour. 37 minutes ago or something. What I'm trying to do is acclimate myself to Clearfield. I've been through here many times, but just not really looking at the places you would live and things you would do to shop at. Let's stop by here on the way home. Oh my God. I think fortunately my body's not going to fail me because I have been, fortunately, mostly keeping to my walking regimen. So I've been keeping myself mostly healthy. What's this? Heart and Soul Wellness. That sounds like either Utah-based psychiatry, Matthews Law Group, Utah Counseling. That's for the church. If it says Utah Counseling, it's for the church. It's where married Utah couples who are in a lavender marriage, or one or both of them are gay, and they still need counseling and therapy to work out their problems. Because they're like, well, I know I'm gay. It's a choice. That's not a fucking choice. Free tax course. Scan to make an appointment. Massage therapy. Oh, look at all hair removal. Sign me up. Oh, look at this fancy chair. This dust covered chair. Oh, oh goodness. Wait, there's probably something wrong with it, isn't there? That's why it's exposed to the elements. Actually, now I mention it. Intersect services, choice, support, confidence. This is like an ESG, sweet baby. This is where they get like diversity people who tell you that you're racist and privileged and you need to fire more white people, hire more women, and whatever. Yeah, that's been really working out well for the video game industry, hasn't it? Seems like every company that these what do you call them? Counselor, not a counselor, but a broker or whatever. They always get flop belly up. That's the building I would like to live in. It's back away from the street. It looks luxurious, but I doubt it actually is luxurious. I want to live there one of these days. And say, this is my house. I don't live in a shithole anymore. That would be nice. Well, I'll tell Intersect one thing. They could start with firing all the nepotism in Utah, the Karens and the church families that only hire their friends and relatives. That would be a great step in the right direction. Of course, that'll never happen. So instead, they go on and they'll attack the working lower class people who work at Walmart and Freeport Center and just other, working class jobs. What is that? Police department? Well, that's the school, isn't it? Elementary school. One of the elementary schools, I think. Yeah, because there's like a sled there and stuff. a slide. Yeah, this school has been remodeled. I can't remember what it used to look like, but it's been remodeled in the last few years. Oh, there's a cop. That's where the police station is. I was going to go there to turn in that wallet I found and the phone. Couldn't find anybody or the entrance to the fucking department. So I ended up turning into the library. I'm glad that I did, because the librarian seemed really nice, and actually she seemed concerned. And she was like, oh, he has ID, so we should be able to find him easily. I was like, yeah. I only opened it to see if there was ID. On the off chance it just happened to be someone I knew, I could call him up and say, hey, your wallet was sitting right here. I've got it. You know. It wasn't anybody I knew. He was a way younger guy. Worked on Hill Air Force Base. This is, I think this is, no, this is the police department entrance. That's the police department, I think, because that building, no, that's the old fire department, I think. And that one is the new fire department building. I have no idea what the fuck Clearfield is doing for fire support. There's also apartments over here, too. Over this way. Apartments. So this could be a place to look at. Duplex apartments. There's a nice smell in the air. A very decent smell. Smells like my grandma, kind of, sort of. Like lilac or jasmine. That's an old house, a very old building. You could tell that's the new fire department, fire station. I have no idea what they're doing for fire support right now. I think they're relying on Clinton. Sunset has no fire building at all. I think that building over there is temporary fire station. I'm not sure. But this has been under construction for at least a year now, maybe 2 years. But it's going to be updated, all brand new, just like the city building. Be a good neighbor. Don't let your dog shit on the grass. Exactly. Be a good neighbor. Rewind. Be kind. Rewind. Hopefully this can be a start of a journey. I only have a few months left before we move. I don't know where we're moving to, but it will be in Clearfield. Hopefully someplace nice. Keep my fingers crossed. And I said, I will take this shitty small servants' quarters room if it means we get to live someplace decent in Clearfield. I'm tired of living in these shitty fucking places that are overpriced. Pay a few $100s more anyway and live someplace decent. That's my thinking. That's my thinking on the matter. Pay $100 or a few $100s more anyway and live someplace decent. Oh man, hey, nice. That's cool. His helmet is illuminated. It's like LED. That's nice. Yeah, cyclists. People don't watch out for motorcyclists. Of course, he's smart because he has his head covered. A lot of the people who ride Harleys, they don't wear helmets. See, if I were riding one, I would have my whole body covered. Even if it's a pain to put on and take off. I do not want to sustain any lifelong injuries. So that was cool. His helmet lit up like LED, and his bike lit up too. So that was pretty nice. Argentine. They're not even open yet. What the fuck? I want some Argentine food. God damn it. People don't know this, but the South America and in around like the what do you call it? The Caribbean, they do have their own type of pasta that they make. Like Argentine, they have Italian ancestry. Oh my holy hell. Ugh. I knew going out tonight was a bad idea. I knew it, and I completely disregarded my my better judgment. See, these places are kind of funky looking, but I would probably live there. I don't think it would be terrible. They're new, so no chance of cockroaches. I mean, they haven't even been there long enough to be moldy and disgusting. I don't know how my roommate would cope with it because he's only used to living in filth and mold and mildew and mouse and cockroach infested environments. I'm serious. If I didn't raise a stink about those fucking roaches in the Sunset Place, he probably would have been like, well, if you get cockroaches, that means there's something seriously fucking wrong. That's how filthy it is. Of course, honestly, I think people were bringing the cockroaches into the building and setting them loose to get rid of us, which succeeded, unfortunately. So we ended up having to move out, pay more money for the exact same fucking apartment in a different part of town. Should we go over by the bum shack? I really don't think we should. I don't want to. There's literally no point to it. It's just like the 857 house. I said it before, there's people squatting there, peeing in bottles. One of these times we go there, there's going to be someone there. And I'm not willing to go there and run into trouble. Can you imagine if people were living in that gas station? Like, first of all, how the fuck would you even get in to be able to live in there? But people will come there with bolt cutters or whatever, I guess. The shack is back there. I'm not going back there though, it's disgusting. There's literally nothing to see. Literally nothing. Don't you want me, baby? Don't you want me? I feel like a fucking zombie. I'm running on pure fucking fumes. I'm just like, oh, I know. Let's take a trip to the 857 house. No one will be there. Then I can fall asleep and get murdered and robbed and have my corpse desecrated in a black sacrament ritual. I'm making pretty good time. It's probably only about 12:30. 12:23. I'm doing pretty good for myself at almost 40. Maybe I could get a job here. Main Street Pawn. I could get a job there. There's this one pawn shop I got hired on. It was so disgusting. It was disgusting. They had dead cockroaches because they have this back room area where you pull merchandise, and I guess customers will go back there, and there's like discarded food, and the owner manager was he's a slob. I mean, I don't have anything against fat people. I'm fat myself, but oh my god. Back then I wasn't fat though. This was like 2017. So I was like not skinny, but I wasn't fat. And oh my god. It was disgusting. Very disgusting. All he did was fucking eat. Eat. And I was there for one day, and that was enough. I never wanted to go back, and I didn't. And that was after my first time working for Spirit Halloween. They actually contacted me for a job. I didn't contact them. They called me. They go, "Hi, are you looking for a job?" "Yeah." "A full-time job?" "Yeah." It was such a fucking circus. Like, I didn't get trained. I was basically told to go in the back and look busy. And the guy let his lady coworkers' kids and their friends come and hang out in the fucking office, the cash office, which is a big no-no. You're not supposed to do that. But they were coming by and hanging out, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I've had enough. And so lunchtime came and went. And I tried convincing myself to tough it out, to like stick it out. And I went back, it was the same shit. They didn't have anything for me to do. The boss had actually left to go get more Wendy's or something. I wish I was making it up, I'm not. So I don't actually smoke, but I asked one of the coworkers, I said, since it's not really busy, can I just go out for a smoke break? I went out on a smoke break, got onto a bus, and fucking left. And I got tested like 20 minutes or half an hour later. They're like, WTH, man, question mark. And I didn't answer it. I was like, whatever, I'm gone. This place is disgusting. You people are disgusting. There's literally cockroaches in the fucking back room area with the extra merch. I was like, no, I'm done. I can't with this place. That guy, he looked like Jabba the fucking Hutt. Actually, you know who he looked like? He looked like Don Vito, Bam Margera's uncle. That's who he looked like. Just this big, fat, fucking greasy slob. He's probably dead by now. I mean, that was close to a decade now, but him being so, fucking obese and COVID having happened. Oh boy, there's Dutch Brothers. There's the traffic cones. They're spray painted black or blue so you can pretend you're sitting on a Smurf cock. How fun. I've literally never heard of Dutch Brothers ever. Ever. I might go live again in a few. Take a break. I'll go live when I take my next break. Oh my god. I'm running on sheer fucking fumes. Okay. There was a person back there, and it looked like they were running. I think they were just trying to find an all-night store that sells cigarettes or booze. I didn't think they were following me, but you never know. I won't cry for you. I won't crucify the things you do. And there's no bus stop across the street. Oh, it's right over there. That's fucking retarded. They should be parallel to one another. This is that hotel that guy was abducted and dragged into. I guess he's okay, but they worked him over. Like they beat him up really good. Because they said Sunset Hotel is the only hotel in Sunset. Little rascals. Oh, look at that. It's so warm out that the piss on my jacket dried off. So now I'll only smell like piss. I won't look like it. Yay. There's all the Lyft and Uber drivers out trying to make that money, honey. Gotta make that money, honey. Oh, I said I was going to talk about weird and gross stories, didn't I? I only told one. Okay, so I have another weird story where I had like an ex-friend in high school. And I don't really consider him a friend. And looking back, I don't think he was a friend. But he's someone who would act weird in private, like he was trying to come on to me, like experiment, get me to experiment with him, and I wasn't into it that way. But he did not like my rejection. So he would go and tell people behind my back that I did this and I did that. And, you know, the whole fucking story. You know, the whole scenario. I'm sure many people have dealt with that. People don't take rejection well. You know, if you don't ever want to talk to me again, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But sit there and fucking make up stories and lie and scenarios that just never played out because it didn't happen. It's bullshit. Okay, I'm going to go live. I'm going to go on break soon. Live. Again, we're live with the Living Dead. The Living Dead boy. I'm like, how the fuck am I even still going? I've walked so many unnecessary fucking miles tonight. Tonight into tomorrow. Yesterday into today. It's bullshit. And I'm not even getting paid for this. I'm doing it because apparently I'm a psycho who loves punishment. Ooh. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. Ooh. Are they closed? Because they've had those signs up for years. For a while. I'm guessing they must be closed now. One of a kind gifts. You can find a toilet seat that Elvis Presley sat on. See, this is another example of a shitty fucking bus stop. How the fuck are they going to know to see this fucking sign that's right here, hidden behind a utility pole? Oh, there's someone on a bike up ahead. Or What are those lights? Is it a car with its lights turned on? Oh, I forgot this place is in Sunset. This used to be an RV rental place, and they left, and then U-Haul moved in. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm not going to film it. Somebody's orange cat is lying there, not among the living. And, yeah. It was very stiff. And I think his eyes were open, too. I don't know if he got hit by a car and crawled over there and died, or if he just died of old age. That's so fucking sad. Especially seeing a cat. I love cats. I hate seeing little baby animals. I saw a baby kitten, like a little black kitten. It was just lying there dead in someone's driveway a few years ago. That was one of my biggest fears. I was like, I don't ever want to see a dead baby animal. Because a dead adult animal is sad enough, but a baby, a kitten, you know, it's just like, why? Heated self-storage. Oh. Oh, maybe I can move in. Oh, honey, heated self-storage? Sign me up. I won't be able to fit all my things in there, though. I might be able to sleep in there, maybe. Let's see. So we've gone live. I need to find a place where I can take a break. Maybe over here. And it's very electric, very dangerous area here. See, this is why you always press the bus, not the bus, the crosswalk stop. Because I was like, oh, it's 12:30 at night. Nobody's driving through Sunset. And then this car just comes through. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. It's really surprising for me when I see, like, when I meet new couples, I always assume that they're like a lot younger than me. I mean, even if they're Zaren's age, which would be 34 or 35, would still be a bit younger, like 4 or 5 years younger. And I'm just surprised because, like, people don't get married anymore. They'll, like, move out together in a new, like, neutral place, an apartment or something. This isn't anything new, though. This has been happening since I first moved out 20 odd years ago. I dealt with this shit when I had a cousin I would live with occasionally on the weekends. And this happened from 8th grade into high school. And he had this neighbor girl, lady. I'm trying to think how old he was at the time, because I was 15 when I first started staying over there, and he was 25. I think she was a few years older than him. I think she was like 30, maybe 30 or 29. And I met her and the guy she was living with. And they didn't really seem that, like, maybe my perception of age is skewed. Because if I see like a kid as, oh, that's obviously a baby or an old person, but they didn't look like old to me. But he had moved out. She kicked him out. They had a fight. And this girl, I can't remember her name. Sometimes I would skip class because my cousin gave me a key to his place. So I would go over sometimes, if I didn't feel like going to school, which was quite often, in 9th grade at least. So I would go, instead I would hang out at his place during the day. And this woman was insane. Like, it would be quiet, and then I would just hear, like, someone, it sounded like they were snoring, and then, like, gulping, like, gasping for air. Then what I found out was happening, she was hiccuping, because then she starts screaming out her ex-boyfriend's name, whose name I can't remember, Zach or something, screaming out his name. And just like, because we didn't know what ugly crying was back then. I mean, people ugly cried forever. It wasn't a new concept. We had a name for it. And she was just always fucking crying all the time. And I would avoid her. I think she knew someone was next door because I would watch TV, but then I got to the point I didn't want her knowing I was there, because she would come over, ring the doorbell. She would literally stand on the porch for 20 minutes, thinking one of us was in the shower or in the bathroom, that we would eventually come out and answer the door. Because she either wanted to vent and talk to us, which we weren't receptive to that, or she wanted to find my cousin as a replacement, a rebound man, and he was already seeing somebody, and he didn't like her anyway. So she was crazy. There's other examples, like I would be over there on the couch. I got used to watching TV muted with just the captions turned on, so she wouldn't know anybody was in there. Because if I left early enough, see, this is how crazy this woman was. She worked a late night shift. She worked different shifts from my cousin. They didn't work at the same job because my cousin worked on base, and I think she worked at like Freeport Center or somewhere. When her shift ended, she would get home sometime in the morning hours after having worked through the night. I would get there an hour or two before she got home, and instead of going to bed, because I could hear her, she would carpooling in, because she was right next door. Her building, her apartment was literally shared walls with our apartment. So I'd hear her car, because these apartments had attached garages as well, which that costs extra. So she would roll in, stomp up the steps, rip open her door, throw it shut, rip it open, throw it shut. Then it was really, really quiet. And I thought, okay, she's gone to bed because she just got home from work. It would be really quiet, and I thought, oh, maybe I can watch TV with the volume turned up. You know, just turned up to normal, not like the volume turned all the way up. She would start wailing, just wailing like a banshee, like, oh, there's a paramedic driving without the lights on. Sunset doesn't have its own paramedics anymore, I don't think. They don't have a fire department anymore. But she would go long period. I think she was falling asleep, dreaming of her ex, crying, then crying herself awake or something. She was just all kinds of unstable because she would accuse people of having keys to her apartment and letting people come in, and I mean, she was just like, she's nuts, like a conspiracy theorist. And this was like 1999, 2000, 1999, so this was like 24, 25 years ago. She was crazy. She would like accuse people of renting her apartment out, and then she's like, well, you're telling everybody about my cats, and you're the one responsible for people coming over and scaring. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You crazy bitch. See, I used to like sympathize with the women on default because I used to think that the woman in the relationship could do no wrong. That it must be the man's fault. It must be. He must have done something. He must have seen another girl. He must have called her a name. He must have cheated on her or hit her or whatever. Little do I know that there is such a thing as equal opportunity in a relationship. She was nuts. I can't remember her guy friend's name. It's really wild to me. My cousin was still friends with him because I seen him a few more times after. Like, we went bowling once and we met him there with his new woman, and we all went out to a movie once. I was like, wow. And I just flat out asked him, I was like, what is the deal? I think her name was no, it wasn't Sheila, it was Sharon. I think maybe it was Sheila. Sheila, I can't remember. Oh, it was Chandra. It was Chandra. Chandra, whatever. That's a unique name. There's not many people with that fucking name. She was fucking crazy. She was nuts. And, you know, I sympathized for her and felt bad for her in the start because when I first met them, they were together. And then a little while later, they broke up. And I come to find out he was keeping her stable and sane. And I guess because she wasn't getting dick anymore. You know, they say don't put your dick in the crazy. Don't do it. I mean, she would just she's one of those fucking neighbors. If I lived next to her now, I would kill her. I would probably I don't know what I would do. Short of just moving out or defaulting on the lease. She's one of those people, I remember back then, it sounded like she was always banging on the wall. So I don't know if she was legit hitting the wall or if she was hanging, nailing stuff up on the walls. Because I've lived around people who did that all the time. And I was always like, what the fuck are you doing? Every week. Are you a Boy Scout where you take home a new trophy, a new badge that you have to pin up on the wall every time? What are you doing that you have to hammer on the wall every week? I don't understand it. And that's another reason why I hate living in fucking apartments. And this fucking Chandra girl, she would call people up and argue with them on the phone. She would argue with her mom on the phone because our kitchens were connected. So when I was in the kitchen, I could hear her plain as day, through the vent, screaming at her mom because her mom would tell her she's crazy. She needs to get help. She needs to take her medication. I don't need my meds, Mom. I'm not going to lie. There might have been occasions when she was fighting with her mom. I might have pulled the chair into the kitchen so I could get a better listen. God, now my foot and heel are all fucked up. Ugh. Oh my God. This is it, folks. I'm sorry, I can't go walking all the way from Roy into fucking Clearfield. I can't do it anymore. It's taking a physical toll on me. See, doggy daycare, that's what I need. I need to be put into a tub and scrubbed down. And then sprayed down and then wrapped up in a blanket and locked into a kennel for the night. I got a blister on my fucking ankle. Oh my God. That's what it is, a fucking blister. Oh my God, it hurts. I'm not sure how much of this I want to stay live for. How much content of me walking with a hurt foot, exhausted, hurt legs, do people want to see? Oh my God, ow. Fucking hurts. If we lived here, we'd be home by now. Yeah, but we would also be living in Sunset, so there's half the problem.